ground level issues that we are all facing, sometimes it is very difficult for us to engage within all of the levels that we have. It becomes in such a way that we are working in silos. But to take out the silos, to bring everyone together so that our ideas, our discussions, they can all be happening together, and it is that intention that we are bringing you together, and I feel that you should all make very good use of it. And by the end of this 2-day workshop, we ensure that whatever we are doing furthermore, we don't face the same challenges, but we are working in unison to achieve our projects and our goals. And it gives me immense pleasure to be here today in the important workshop which is dedicated to the major infrastructure projects at Airports Authority of India. I am looking forward to this workshop as a reflection of our shared commitment to building a robust aviation ecosystem for a vibrant and a more Viksit Bharat. I perceive civil aviation to be a very passionate subject and a patriotic subject also. And I believe it is not just about connecting destinations together, but it is about connecting the dreams of 1.4 crore people of this country. And infrastructure becomes the backbone for achieving this. And infrastructure only determines how we are going to ensure that we connect our people, how effectively we are going to manage our operations, and how seamlessly we ensure that the passenger is getting world-class services. And as the Civil Aviation Minister of India, I say with immense pride today that the Airports Authority of India, which has been driving this transformation in aviation in the country, is in front of me. I'm very proud to see all of you who have contributed to the great success that we have achieved in aviation today, that I proudly speak about it on various platforms. So congratulations to all of you. Whether it comes to the modernization of airports, or introduction of cutting-edge technologies, or focusing ourselves on the sustainability of aviation, AAI has continuously demonstrated leadership in all these aspects, and especially nation building of this country. And I congratulate AAI family for being the architects of Atmanirbhar Bharat also. And I must say that AAI plays a very pivotal role in achieving the aspirations of Viksit Bharat 2047, which is an ambitious goal set forward in front of us by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi Ji. And by driving the civil aviation sector, especially in the infrastructure growth that is needed for the next 20-22 years, we have to ensure that the common man of this country and his ambitions and aspirations are thoroughly serviced from our side, and whatever is necessary to be provided from our side, we ensure that we provide it to the common man of this country. And the number of airports, this is a number which we are all proud of. In the last 10 years, what used to be 74 in 2014, we have come up to 159 and counting. This is a great achievement, and the major driver behind this growth is Airports Authority of India. Without your commitment, without your dedication, and without your support, we wouldn't have been boasting about such a big number which we are all proud of today. And I proudly remember our Honorable Prime Minister's address during the second Asia Pacific Ministerial Conference which happened in Delhi, and he was telling us that India is among the top global players in civil aviation today, and in just one decade, India has achieved a significant transformation. In these 10 years, India has evolved from a country exclusive to aviation to one that is inclusive to aviation today. So congratulations on achieving such great standards today in aviation. And one other important scheme which has led us to achieve these kind of numbers is the UDAN scheme, Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. And at the core, the UDAN scheme is to service the aspirations of the people today who want to travel through air. And we are doing it by offering airports at these remote locations where earlier having an airport was just a dream. And in the last 10 years, under the UDAN scheme, we have built up to 88 airports in the country. What used to be just strips, what used to be just plain ground, we have converted them into airports today, and we have achieved a great success by offering the connectivity to these remote locations, and especially to those areas where it was supposed to be impossible to have an airport before. And UDAN has revolutionized the way we are going to see civil aviation in this country, and it has helped us a lot in moving our ambition, collective ambition of building airports forward. And the government had approved 4,500 crores for revival and upgradation of unserved and underserved airports in the country. And with that, the helipads, water aerodromes, and out of that, we are going to complete that 4,500 by the March ending of this year. And there is another allocation of 1,000 crores as phase 2, where we have to build 50 more airports. And at the ministry also, we have this target right now that in the next 5 years, we have to build 50 more airports in the country. And this is not just an idea that emanates from the ministry or the government of India. This is a collective effort that we all have to move and achieve together. And the confidence that I have as a minister that I'm going to achieve 50 airports in the next 5 years is the confidence that I have on Airports Authority of India, is the confidence that I have on all of you. So you know that we are two dynamic ministers, young ministers today for leading civil aviation sector in the country. And when they see both of us moving in the parliament, they get very excited. They feel that they have young ministers, so they are going to do exceptional work. But we are carrying that confidence also, the expectations also, the responsibility also. And we are mindful of what the people of the country are thinking about civil aviation. And the confidence that we have is the confidence that we have on you. So we have to collectively move together. It's not just the responsibility of ministers or the people in the ministry, but it is a collective effort with all of us and all the people who are working with us to ensure that we achieve our targets and our goals. And it is heartening to see that in the recent Parliament address by Honorable President, she has also mentioned about aviation and especially UDAN, that how our country is growing in civil aviation, how we have achieved a lot of success to become the third largest domestic economy in the whole world itself. So these are the inspirations that we need to see, that how people in the country are looking at civil aviation. Earlier, it used to be a very exclusive aspect. But today, we have seen in the parliament also, when the question hour opens, there is no more interest on Jal Shakti. There is not much interest on coal and mines. There is not much interest on urban affairs. But once they see one question happening on civil aviation, everybody is coming together. 540 people raising their hands and saying, I have a question, I have a question, I have a question. And you see in Lok Sabha also, people ask these questions when they feel that their people are going to watch these questions and they're going to appreciate them asking these questions. So civil aviation has become an aspect which is now connected to the people of the country. It has got that power today. And it is that exceptional responsibility that we have and we carry today, which everyone has to be mindful of. And it is that mindfulness that we are organizing this conference here today. And I've seen last 7 months also, much of the activity that is going on. And we are in fact proud of what we are doing also. Because our general comparison is that what we were doing 10 years back, what we were doing 30 years back, we have definitely improved and progressed. We have brought in exceptional changes in the way we function, exceptional changes in the way we organize, the way we are bringing in technology in our processes. But still, the thought process shouldn't just be of how we are comparing ourselves with 10 years of us before, or 30 years or 50 years before. We should be comparing ourselves with the best in the world which is there to offer. That shift in our mind has to come in right now. Our attitude has to change. That if AI is building an airport today, if AI is doing any kind of work today, it shouldn't be compared with AI's work 10 years back or 20 years back. AI's work should be compared with whatever best is being done in the whole world itself. And that has to be the shift in the mindset that we all have to push towards. And only then we are going to reach to the aspirations of the people. People feel that we are spending that much money, we are putting that much effort. Then why can't we expect those global standards in our airports of AI? So definitely we have to all think about it and move towards it. And we also have to see, with the change in the technology that is happening across the world, especially new technologies, AI which has come in and which is taking over many fields like health, education, it's offering many other solutions also. So in our operations, how do we ensure we utilize this technology so that we can get our projects done on time and with quality? My major priority as a minister and when we are doing all these projects are two things only. The speed at which we are doing and the quality at which we are working. So these two are the primary foundations with which we have to work with. There shouldn't be any compromise on it. आप इंडिया का जुगाड़ लगाना चाहते तो लगाइए, पर वो समय में ही लगाइए कि इतने समय के अंदर करना पड़ेगा मैं प्रोजेक्ट. जुगाड़ क्वालिटी में मत लगाइए कि इसमें कुछ निकाल देंगे ऐसे. Quality should be an aspect which there shouldn't be any compromise at all. Quality is very, very important for us. And what will really matter for us in completion of a project is the speed and the quality. You have to keep it that these are the two eyes with which we have to function, and these are the primary aspects with which we have to move forward. And I've seen some of the projects that we are already working on. There's no one to blame with. I wanted to deep dive into those projects and see why some are getting delayed or why some are facing the problems. But I can't say that this is happening because of this one person or because of so and so mistake that has happened. We are doing the operations in such a way that there are some problems which are getting arised automatically. So there are some need for the change in systems also that we have to bring in. And here, we don't want to have a top-down mechanism where in closed doors at the ministry, we are bringing in some rules and saying that these are the rules that you have to function with. We have observed this thing, so this is what you have to do. We are giving you the opportunity that be open about the problems that are happening on the ground. You discuss about it, and to see that we are going to function on time, we are completing these projects on time. How do we ensure we collectively give some good suggestions which we can implement at the ministry? Otherwise, we can just take some random decisions and say that we have to complete this on time and this is what is happening. But we want to have an approach where everyone is taken together in the discussion process. And more than me or more than the people sitting on this side, you are the ones who know the actuality of the ground, the actuality of the project. So we really want you to utilize these 2 days, give us the ground feedback, and think on the lines of how do we achieve these global standards without any compromise on the quality, and to ensure that we get the projects completed on time. What are the suggestions that we can give to the chairman or the ministry so that further moving forward, we can ensure that there is a proper functioning within the system. This is not just stopping now. We have just told, in fact, Anil ji has also told 50,000 crores we are going to spend, in fact. And we are building airports in these locations like Agati we are building. And we have gotten a request from Mumbai where they want to build an offshore airport, where only few have managed to do it globally. But this is the confidence people have. This is the Chief Minister of Maharashtra who is calling Airports of Authority of India and a wild project of building an airport in the sea, offshore project. Who does he call Airports Authority of India? Because he has that confidence that if it has to be built, Airports Authority of India only has to build it. So people have that confidence on us. How we deliver is upon us. And I'm saying unless we step forward and offer those international standards with the work that we do, there are people who are ready to take over. And we will only be left behind. And I don't want Airports Authority to be in that space. We were leading before, we are leading now, and in the future also we have to be leading. We have to be that example not only for the country but for the people across the globe. And one thing which is inspirational for all of us, one thing where we have really progressed forward and we have brought in that element of change, element of inspiration, is the way we have inculcated the design, the local design into our building of airports. And I've seen this on many occasions, many of the buildings, and I've seen buildings in the West, some of the developed countries also. Most of them are glass and steel, nothing more than that. And all you see the color is the signage boards. Rest all is a good arrangement of how you do the glass and how you arrange the steel and how do you put it up as a nice design. But we are thinking differently. We build an airport in Agra, it has to be very locally Agra, it has to be showcasing the beauty of Agra. We are building an airport in Tirchi, the Tirchi का local element क्या है उसको लेके आ रहे हैं. Design में उसके अंदर जो art हम लेके आ रहे हैं, the architecture कैसे कर रहे हैं. So I think that is a proud thing that we all have to continuously speak about on how we are bringing in the local design, the local culture into the making of the airport itself. So if you believe in doing something, definitely we can do it. This is one good example. So just how we are trying to do certain things, just how we are trying to put in our efforts into getting these things done, I'm continuously saying that in terms of standards, we have to think globally. And for that, we need some training, we need some exposure. We are ready to give you that. You want to see airports at different locations, airports, how they are happening globally. You want to engage at a global level on how people are doing these things. We are going to provide you that platform. But you have to be open to these things, and you have to think on those lines that times have changed now. The aspirations of the country have changed now. The responsibilities have changed now. Targets have changed now. So that change in the mindset should definitely sink in and be brought in the way that we are working forward. And in the building of the airports, another thing that I am strongly working on is that not just we have one model to build an airport. We have to have numerous different models. Now, when we think about airport, we are thinking that it has to be the runway length. This is the kind of vision we have for the future. So this is the land that we will get. And these are the kind of terminal buildings that we are going to build. But now the challenges are different at the ground level. Having one or two big airports in one state, it is already being met right now. But the aspirations are as such that people want airport right next door itself. Even if it's a district headquarters, now people are aspiring that I want an airport in my district. Now, we might see that they might not be viable when they are close to some big airports. So what is the option that we are giving to them? So we need to have some kind of thought process where we are saying that we have different kinds of models also for the airports that we have to build. Some can be a smaller airports, some can be the medium ones, some can be big ones, some can be the aerotropolis. And if we as the Airports Authority of India don't understand this kind of model, and in the communication that we have with our stakeholders, we don't communicate these kind of models, then the line gets stuck. The vision gets narrowed down, and we are not able to offer the best of the services we can offer for that specific area. So I want you also to come into the line of thinking of having these multi-model airports, different kinds of airports in our country. We have some strips. We have beautifully built some of the strips into good airports today. And we have many more like from the World War era, from the British era. We have many strips. But sometimes we feel that in our requirement of building an airport, the strip itself doesn't have that land. And then we are just stuck. I'm seeing the discussion of an airport happening for the last 20 years there. The land is still there. But we feel that it has to be of a certain big capacity of land. Only then we are going to start working on the airport. But now wherever a strip is there, we have to come up with the idea that what minimum capacity can I add so that I can build a functional airport. If not, I can land Airbus 320s, but I can just land ATRs or some regular small charters also. So unless we get into this model, we can't expand at the rate which we are thinking we have to expand in the future. And offering that connectivity, air connectivity to those remote areas, to the areas where it will eventually be much more difficult to build an airport, the only option that we have is to convert the existing strips itself. And we have one vision within the ministry on converting the strips also. What we need is your organizational experience, is your ground level experience to bring in the best solutions so that we can easily convert these strips into functional airports. And that is something you also have to think about in the coming future. And like I've also told regarding the technology that we have, how do we ensure that in the day-to-day operations, we bring in more utilization of this technology and offer better services for the people and the passengers that are traveling through our airports. Now, this has become the most talked about subject today for various reasons. Now, we have almost 4,000 flights traveling in the country every day. In November itself, we have crossed 5 lakh passengers per day, which is a great achievement for a country like India. Now, imagine 5 lakh passengers traveling every day. One person, if he is not taken care about properly at the airport, with the use of his phone, he ensures that 1 crore 40 lakh people, 140 crore people know about what he has gone through And he makes it feel like the whole 4,000 flights that happened that day have gone through the same scenario. And this is the situation that we are facing today. And sometimes it becomes so big that you can't escape that subject also. You can't say that this is just something happening at one airport for a one person or one single flight. But that is the reality with which we have to work today. So at the airports, whoever is managing the operations, whoever is managing the passenger traffic, we all have to be very sensitive about how we are offering the services there. And one good thing we can do is how do we get in the new technologies into offering better services. Some of the private airports, they are trying to bring in these innovative models, but you also have to think outside the box. And one thing I would request the chairman also to think about is to give some kind of freedom to have these projects, see, not the top-down approach that from the top we are going to ensure that this is going to be done in all the airports. But for the airports to come up with some of these ideas, and then let us see if that is a good idea, then we implement it across all the airports. One thing I have to mention here, which I really like, this was in Pune airport when I went and saw Mohol Ji comes from that place. And it's the airport there, they have a play area also for kids. It's a very good concept. I thought people were enjoying the play area there. I felt this is a good concept that we can replicate in other waiting areas also. I don't know if any other airport has it or not. It is there in many others. So these are some concepts which we can do, ensure that other areas also have it. And I would say that people there in those airports, if you feel that you can come up with some good idea which is going to offer some good service to the people or ensure better, seamless, comfortable travel for them, then you have to convince the people at the top and ensure that you have to come up with those ideas to us. You are the one sitting there and managing day-to-day operations. So you have to come up with those good ideas to ensure that the services that we offer are also improving, and we are trying to do our best to bring in these new initiatives. So this is another thing where you have to think individually. You shouldn't be thinking that the chairman is going to tell something to us to improve here. You have to take the ownership of that place and you come up with these good ideas. You would have observed some things which are very locally there. So how do we integrate those into our seamless, comfortable passenger services is something that you have to come forward and give those ideas also. And with all this, and there are many more things also where we'll be connecting in the future itself. This is a very good platform which our Honorable Chairman has offered us, where we have all come together on one single place. Please utilize this 2-day workshop for the betterment of our organization in giving all your feedback openly and honestly and ensuring that our services improve, and keeping those two things in mind. Quality shouldn't be compromised, and then the speed at which we are working and trying to get our projects done, we have to achieve, we have to stick to our timelines. Many of the projects, for many reasons, are getting stuck. Why they are getting stuck, you better understand it. So you give the ideas so that the problems don't get repeated next time. We are moving into a space where we are only expanding. The amount of money we are spending, the number of airports we are doing, the capacity we are trying to build, everything, whatever we have formed today has become the foundation, and now we are expanding. Unless we learn something from this and come forward and discuss together, there is that tunnel vision in front of us which is not going to help any one of us. So this 2-day workshop is a great platform for all of us to combinedly work together and ensure that the future plans that we have for the country are achieved. And also aviation, what we are third largest today, we need to become the number one in the whole world, and that is with the dream that which we are all moving forward. Airports Authority of India, I'm still saying it was the key player before for aviation, it's the key player today, and it is still going to be the key player in the future also. We are going to ensure that. So don't worry about what the position of AAI is going to be forward. It is like the heart for the ministry also, and we have to take good care of our heart. And we are going to take good care of AAI. Even if it is a smaller problem, bigger problem, you ensure that the heart is going to be in the right place at the ministry. We are going to support you with whatever we want. And with all the achievements that you get, we take great pride in it. I talk about all the airports in the country, but I take special pride when it's an Airport Authority of India airport. I say, this is my airport. This is the airport which we have. So you, whatever you do, whatever services, whatever tasks that you get done, you have to believe that the ministry takes special pride in Airport Authority of India's work, and we are ensuring that the organization gets strengthened more, the organization gets stronger in the future also, and we are trying to assist in the best possible way. I just need that reciprocation, that whatever is happening at the ground level is matching up to the vision and the standards that we are trying to set here. Don't sway away into these silos or the ancient archaic systems. You have to evolve. This is the best time for us to all come forward, discuss and evolve and set the paths forward. So definitely this platform, I believe, is going to yield that kind of results. And I once again wish you all the best for coming here and for the discussions in the way forward also. And I'll keep a close track on whatever discussions have happened together. And whatever best comes out of this, we are going to ensure that the path is set forward so that it gets into implementation. So you can have the belief that whatever it gets discussed here reaches to us, and we will address it also. So make good use of the platform, and I once again thank the chairman for bringing up this initiative, getting all of us together to interact in this 2-day workshop. My best wishes to each and every one of you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.